Hi, neighbors. I'm Cammy, she, her, hers, and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk About with Cammy. Today, I wanted to speak about something a little different. And from time to time, you'll find that I believe that there are other voices that are more important to be elevated than my own. And this is the same way I plan to work when I'm in office, knowing that I am not always the best resource or the best person to share information. In just this past week, I came across a message on Twitter from an activist in our community, and their words just struck me so deeply that I wanted to make sure that I elevated her voice and shared it with everyone. So, Dr. Erin Feichtinger, who does policy work through Together Inc., shared this beautiful message that was so poignant and so relevant to what's happening in our community right now that I had to absolutely share it. So please excuse me as I read it. You know that frustration you're feeling about getting the vaccine in Nebraska? Multiply that across all the necessities in your life: food, housing, unemployment, etc. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. The arbitrary decisions about the deserving, undeserving, made by people in rooms who can't access, and even if you could access them, you wouldn't know where to start. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Filling out forms and paperwork and not knowing when or even if you will hear back about your place in line, or even where the forms are going or who is reading them. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Hearing one thing one day and another thing entirely the next day, all while your health and safety and that of your family hangs in the balance. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Not being able to do the things that could fill your soul because you have to make it through this day and these tasks. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Stressed out about childcare and the painful decisions you have to make in order to work and get paid, while also making sure your kids are happy and healthy and whole. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Looking at your pantry and wondering what to make for dinner tonight because you're running low on food and going to the store is out of the question. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Worried about your family and your friends and your loved ones, and if you will be able to protect them and take care of them when all you get are vague answers and empty words. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Being told that you're not at the top of the list, that there's not enough, and that you don't qualify because of things out of your control. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Wondering if this will ever end, if life will ever be normal, and this constant stress and worry and anxiety will ever go away, and we will just be stable finally. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. Angry because people who seem far better off than you are getting theirs and you keep getting told no. That's what being poor in Nebraska is like, because we continue to destroy the social safety net. In the before times, perhaps you didn't notice because it did not directly impact you. That's okay if you didn't. It's a lot to keep track of. But this intentional evisceration of the social safety net set the foundation for your frustration now. What you're feeling is what's been happening to your neighbors across this community. Hope dismantled piece by piece and replaced by air and nothing words from the people in charge of making sure we are put together. I need you to understand that the same elected leaders who have demonstrated time and time again that they do not care about poor people also do not care about you. And what's happening now with the vaccine is evidence that they don't. What's happened all through this, really. And it's not worth pointing out their hypocrisy, because they don't have shame enough or self-awareness enough or interest enough to evaluate it and change it. They do not care about you. They never have. They have only cared about themselves, by extension, their power. The only way to change this is to vote them out. Vote every single one of them out. And when they're gone, salt the earth. And when they're gone, never ever settle for nothing responses for incredible problems. From anyone, for anyone. Because to borrow a line from the same man these people who do not care worship every week, Whatever you did not do for the least of these, you did not do for me. Don't forget that feeling when this is all over. Don't forget that when your life opens up again, that too many of our neighbors will not experience the same. Don't forget that when you get to leave this prison, many will not. Don't forget. So that's just a bit again of Erin Feichtinger, Dr. Erin Feichinger's words. And I really hope that that resonates with you the same way that it resonated with me, and that we all continue to know that whether or not we are in those spaces, whether we feel like we have power influence, your words mean something. Your voice has power. And it's really our responsibilities as your elected officials to make sure that we are representing you, not just our own self-interest. And so I hope that you will continue to share information with me that you see that impacts our community, because as city council members, we're not just responsible for this little cut up swath of land that we're given. We're responsible for all of Omaha. And I want to make sure that we're making decisions that are going to be impactful in the right ways for all of Omaha. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week where we will, in fact, talk about climate change.